Hi, my name is Josh Blevins, and I'm the pastor here at Calvary Chapel Northwest. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for watching this video today. I believe that over the next several minutes of time, you're going to hear some information that'll really positively and profoundly impact your life. So again, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. Have you ever considered how important truth really is? I mean, thank you. You get something like this in front of you, and you can't help but think, man, I cannot wait to eat this. It might kill me, but I really can't wait to eat this. And yet, what if you had a food allergy, say to like nuts, and you wanted to know what is in this? Yes, it looks really good, it looks wonderful, but it's really important to know if there's nuts in there for you, because you might end up in the hospital if you eat it. You see, why is that? Because truth is important, right? And a real big misconception about Christianity and about Jesus is that Christianity is just a bunch of touchy-feely, feel-good stuff. There's nothing logical about it. There's no support for it as far as the evidence is concerned, to someone who might think a little more logically. But I would like to present to you today that that's not the case at all. I got these sunglasses the other week. Pretty stylish, I know, but they were $10. $10 sunglasses. I mean, how can you pass up $10 sunglasses? Now granted, down the counter a little bit, there was another pair that looked just like it, except they were $200 because they had this little name on it that meant something. Have you ever thought about why imitations exist? I mean, what brings validity to this pair of sunglasses? Why would they even sell something like that? For one reason alone, and that is imitations exist because there is a real, genuine article that also exists. And a lot of people say, well, there's just so many religions and there's so much spirituality out in this world. How can you know which one is true, or that they're not all just different paths leading to the same God? They're all pretty much the same anyway, right? And let me tell you something. If all the religions are different paths that lead to the same God, my conclusion would be that God's a little bit confused about himself. I think a more appropriate conclusion is that maybe humanity is a little bit confused about God. That there is a genuine article and there's a lot of other imitations out there that have tried to copy and have some similar things about it, but there is truth. And you know what? If truth about food is important, I think that truth about God might really be important. Essentially more important than anything else in this life. Let me show you something real quick. So I was at a popular coffee establishment the other day, and I got into a conversation with two guys. By the end of our conversation, it ended, hey, what's good for me is good for me. What's good for you is good for you. Let's just agree to disagree. And when it comes to what's true and what's not, it's such a sensitive subject among people today. Let me just break it down real quick into two categories. First category I'll call absolute truth. The paper is red, the paper is blue. Let's say your favorite color is green. I say, what color is the paper? Green, green, green. You can shout green all day long, but at the end of the day, you'll be wrong. It's red and it's blue. But on the other hand, if I was to show you two products, I say, which one is better? Well, you might say, this one is better. Your friend might say, no, this one is better. And no one would be right or wrong. So when it comes to God, what category does he belong in? Oh, I prefer this God. I prefer this God. Or could it be that there are absolute truths about God that are important for us to know? Something to think about. I wanted to take a moment to thank you again for thinking through some of these thoughts with me. I know that I've presented a lot to you that maybe you agree with and maybe you totally disagree with. I might have even left you with more questions than answers. And that's why I want to encourage you to do something. Right now, wherever you're at, I want you to stop and I want you to go to your computer and go to a website, ccnorthwest.org. ccnorthwest.org. There's another video I posted up there that's really going to help answer some more questions for you. It also has great resources to help you know more about our church and know more about what's really important, and that is your relationship with God. And so I hope you're able to go check it out this very moment, and I hope to see you at church sometime. Thanks again for taking time with me. So a question I get a lot from a lot of people is, how does church really relate to me? I mean, why is it even important for me to be part of a church? After all, I mean, who can really deal with all of those hypocritical people, right? I mean, always saying one thing and living another. And seriously, who can stand more than 5 minutes of that music? They call it worship, but I mean, it's really hard to even sit through it. That Christian music is unbearable. And boy, when that pastor starts preaching, I want to talk about snooze. Just boring out of your mind. How can you put up with those sermons? I mean, seriously. And that's how a lot of people view church. View church as it's these four walls where you go. That's the church. And yet when we think about church, what really we need to be focusing on is that church is not a place where people meet. A place is where the church meets. See, a church is a verb, not a noun. It's a people, not a place. And so really, at Calvary Chapel, what we really like to think of church when it comes to these areas is that people is really about relationship. And this music, it's so much deeper because it's really about worship of a God who loves us and who's greater than us. And these sermons, well, I don't know about you, but I don't like skipping dinner. It's like my favorite meal. And when it comes to sermons, the teaching of the Bible, what we're really talking about is growth. Spiritual growth. And so really, how does church relate to me? Well, it relates to you in this way, in that all of these issues have to do with one thing, and that is you and God. And so maybe all these peripheral excuses of the people and the music and the sermons, well, maybe that's just a surface issue that you're trying to cover up the real issue, and that is, well, you and God. And so my encouragement to you today would be, just come. Check it out. Come see what God has for you, what He wants to offer to you through the church. You have nothing to lose. And so we'd like to invite you to come to Calvary Chapel. We're right around the corner from you. In fact, chances are you've probably driven by our church 100 times and not even noticed it. But we'd like to invite you not only to come see, but come be a part of what God is doing here. Come connect with God. Come build relationships with people who care about you. And come grow in your relationship with God. Hey, if you don't like our church, that's fine. Our greatest encouragement to you is that you find a church that you feel at home at, you feel plugged into, and that you're growing in. But believe me, church is important. It relates to you in so many more ways than you can even think. And so I just want to encourage you today to take time to rethink church. And we'd love to see you one of these Sunday mornings. You know, Calvary Chapel has been planted in this community over 10 years. And over the past year, we've really had a renewed vision from God to obey and to fulfill what Jesus called was one of the greatest commandments, and that is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And so we're launching into a step of faith for our church. We are launching a new website. It's called realcommunity.org. That is real-community.org. I want you to bookmark it and keep up on it, because what this website is going to enable us to do is to help serve you, our neighbors, our community. And maybe you are one of those people who said, what has the church ever done for me? Well, here's your chance to put us to the test. We want to know how we can serve your needs. Maybe you're elderly and you need help mowing your lawn. Maybe you're in a position where you need help moving something. We want to be there for you, free of charge, no obligation, of course. We just want to bless you. So check out the website, real-community.org.
Come all you holy people, all you saints of God, no longer slaves of evil, purchased one and all, and sing glory, glorious. Sing glory, glorious. Heaven and earth will bow before the glory of the Lord. Sing glory, glorious. Come all you sons and daughters, children of the King. Worship our faithful Father, for His glory sing. Sing glory, glorious. Sing glory, glorious. Heaven and earth will bow before the glory of the Lord. Sing glory, glorious. Come all you weak and weary, hide yourself in grace, for at His great appearing we will see His face. We will see His face.